Hello everybody and welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football. Liverpool beat Spurs 3-1. 6 points taken from Spurs this season for Liverpool. Mourinho will be disappointed with that. He'll also be very concerned about Harry Kane. Off at half-time and Spurs just ain't the same without Harry Kane. We'll be talking about Spurs in a minute, but let's talk about Liverpool. That's their first, they've not won in their last 5 Premier League games, I don't think, and that is a really good result for them. They've been struggling to score goals. They should have maybe had 4, that handball that led to the goal that was disallowed in the second half. But Liverpool in the second half, a different side. And I think Spurs played into that because I think it was quite an equal half in the first half. Obviously, Firmino scoring. Spurs masters of their own downfall. Defensively terrible, but Liverpool a lot more impressive. Looked a lot more like Liverpool than they have done in the recent weeks. And that'll be encouraging to Klopp. They absolutely had to win tonight. Even winning tonight, they're still 3 points off United. They're still 4 points off City, and City have got a game in hand. So if City win that game in hand, they're still 7 points clear of Liverpool. So that shows how important it was for Liverpool to win tonight, to keep those title hopes alive. Yes, they've got Man City in a few weeks, but they had to win tonight. They've got to beat West Ham on Sunday. They've got to beat Brighton, and then they've got to beat Man City to stay in this title race. They are woefully struggling at centre-back. And you know, credit to Liverpool for staying where they have done, because they really do struggle at the back. And, you know, having to play Henderson there, Matip went off at half time. Is he injured again? They bring this Phillips on. They're going to struggle this season, Liverpool, because of that centre-back issue. But where they have struggled is in scoring goals. And today they looked a lot more vibrant. Didn't see much from Robertson today. Maybe he stayed back a bit. Trent got forward a lot more. But Salah, Firmino, Mane, they were active. The midfield was industrious. And in the second half, it was a different game. They looked so much better than Spurs. And, you know, Liverpool run out 3-1 winners. They'll go on to their next game. They'll have a bit more confidence. And they've turned the tide a little bit as well. And actually, I'll say this. Liverpool lose to United on Sunday, but Liverpool beat Spurs and United lose to Sheffield United. Who's had the better week? Who would have thought it? Actually, Liverpool have had the better week because league points are more important than an FA Cup 6th round tie, surely. But some might disagree with that. I don't. I think Liverpool have had the better week now because they've got the points in the league, and that was 3 points massively dropped for United. So 2 big games coming up at the weekend, obviously, for Liverpool against West Ham, who are flying high. That's their opportunity. And it'll be interesting, especially with Lingard going to West Ham now. But Liverpool looked a lot better today. And I think West Ham will look at Liverpool and be a little bit more concerned than they might have been that Liverpool looked good. As I said, their front three were very, very much a problem for Spurs. Although, let me just say, as a Spurs fan, you've got to look at that game and say, what is going on? We've got Jose Mourinho, probably the best defensive coach in world football, and they can't defend a picnic from a pack of ants at the moment. They're so strong. Every single goal that they conceded was preventable. Fair play to Liverpool for taking the goals. I thought the finish from Mane and Trent especially were really good. I mean, Firmino's was a tap-in. But the first goal, Eric Dyer or Lloris, one of them's got to do something, because how it makes its way to Firmino must think it's Christmas. The second goal, all right, it's a decent shot from Mane, but the palming away from Lloris is very, very poor, and a good finish by Trent. The third goal, I don't even know what Roden's doing. You know, as I said, Joe Rogan could be better than him, because at least he does a podcast. Just terrible. Like, he's got an opportunity to head it out, kick it out, lets it go across his body. And again, Mane thinks it's Happy Christmas and bangs it in, and it's game over. I mean, look, big shout out to Højbjerg. What a great goal that was. And it gave Spurs a bit of hope, but it was false hope. Second half, Spurs were poor. They didn't cause Liverpool any problems. Liverpool have got Phillips and Henderson playing at centre-back, and they didn't cause any problems for them. You know, Son in the first half looked a threat. In the second half, he may as well have been sat on the bench checking his TikTok, because there's nothing going. I said TikTok. There's nothing going on for him. Bergwijn flatters to deceive every time I watch him. They just look very different, and obviously they were set up in. I mean, I don't know what's going on at Spurs enough to be able to answer this question. But I look at their bench and I see people like Vinicius, who's a forward. Why would you not bring him on? Lamela. I mean, I don't rate him. You're playing Roden, Davies, and Eric Dyer at centre back, but you've got people like Alderweireld and Davinson Sanchez on the bench. I don't think Eric Dyer's a centre back. I think Mourinho's in love with him, but I don't think he's a centre back. And when I say in love with him, I don't think he's taking him out for a meal, which he can't do anyway because we're in a pandemic. But I just think as a footballer, he loves Eric Dyer. I remember when he was at United, he wanted to buy Eric Dyer. And whilst Eric Dyer isn't a terrible footballer, he's not a team to build he's not a player to build your defence around. For a manager who knows how to defend, he's doing a terrible job at Spurs at the moment. That defensively, they were a shambles second half, and that is on the manager. He makes the choices, he picks the team. Look, Rodon's probably a work in progress, to be fair, but they've cost themselves a result there, and it will annoy them. When you look at the league table, though, as I said, for Spurs, they win their game in hand. They're only a point behind Liverpool. Spurs have got to focus on fourth. Can they win the Europa League? Maybe. Can they get fourth place? Possibly. They've got to focus on that. They're not in a title race, and I think Mourinho maybe was hoping that they might be this year. You're not in a title race. They've got to find some consistency, Spurs. And their issue is, without Harry Kane, and who knows what injury it is, and he seems to get one every year now, Harry Kane. This is why when people like Man City or United get linked to Harry Kane, I always think in recent years, there's always a time where he's injured for a while, and, it's always this time of year as well. So if he's out, Spurs are going to struggle. Hopefully it isn't a bad injury, because you don't want Harry Kane getting a bad injury, but if he's out, they've got problems. And Spurs are very, 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 very focused on that. What next for Liverpool? Look, are Liverpool in a title race? You're a fool if you say they're not. Are Man City firm favourites? Yes, they are. But Liverpool play Man City, and Man City have got some tougher games in February. It doesn't mean they won't win all those games, but Liverpool give themselves a chance. And that will be, on paper, that's their hardest game before Man City. They're going to have to work very hard against West Ham. You'd expect them to beat Brighton, but they can't be complacent again. And then they get that big chance against Man City, and they hope that Man City drop other points along the way. So Liverpool will feel a lot better than they did a week ago, having lost to Burnley. They'll feel back in the race. They'll be more happy about the way they're playing. They'll be more happy that they're scoring goals as well. So Liverpool deserved that win tonight. Their attack was very, very good. Spurs' defence was very, very bad. I think Spurs have got to focus on fourth place. Liverpool will still have title aspirations, and why not? Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're back tomorrow with career mode. I'll speak to you all soon.